Imagine being a teenager at age 150. Imagine watching empires rise and fall from the ocean depths, still not old enough to have kids of your own. These animals have mastered the one thing every human civilization has chased since the beginning of history: extreme longevity. And by the end of this video, you'll meet a creature that may never die at all. Here are 7 animals that make human lifespans look like a blink. Humans live around 80 years, if we're lucky. The animals on this list live 200, 400, even 500 years, and one of them may be functionally immortal. They don't have hospitals. They don't have anti-aging creams or longevity supplements or billionaires funding research labs. They have something far older and far more powerful: evolution. Here's the strange part. The longer you watch this list, the less it will make sense. Every single entry breaks a rule you thought biology couldn't break. And the last animal on this list doesn't just live a long time, it may have found a loophole around death itself. Stay until the end, because that one will change how you think about aging completely. #7. The Greenland Shark. The 400-year-old. Number 7 is the longest living vertebrate on Earth, the Greenland shark. Recent studies confirm they live 400 to 500 years. Read that again. Not 40, 400. They don't even reach sexual maturity until age 150. Think about what that means. A Greenland shark alive today, swimming right now in the freezing dark of the North Atlantic, was already alive when Shakespeare was writing his plays. It was alive before the United States existed. It has outlived entire empires. How is this even possible? They live in near-freezing Arctic waters, and that cold slows their metabolism down to almost nothing. Their bodies age so slowly that their cells barely seem to notice time passing. Researchers once found a Greenland shark with a hunting spear from the 1800s still embedded in its skin. The wound never fully healed because at that temperature, even healing takes decades. They're not really aging, they're waiting. But as strange as that sounds, the Greenland shark isn't even the strangest thing living in Arctic waters. There's another giant nearby that's rewriting what we thought we knew about cancer, dementia, and organ failure. And it's 100 times its size. #6. The Bowhead Whale, the 200-year-old. Number 6 lives in those same Arctic waters as the Greenland shark, the Bowhead Whale. Bowhead whales live over 200 years, making them the longest living mammal on the entire planet, longer than elephants, longer than humans, longer than any other warm-blooded creature we know of. Their thick skin and blubber don't just protect them from freezing water. Scientists now believe those same biological adaptations may be slowing down the whale's aging process at a cellular level. In 2007, researchers made a discovery that confirmed just how old these animals can get. A bowhead whale was found with a harpoon fragment embedded in its blubber. That harpoon was from the 1880s. Here's where it gets genuinely unsettling for medical science. Bowhead whales don't just live a long time, they don't seem to get old the way we do. No cancer, no dementia, no organ failure. Researchers studying their genome are now trying to figure out exactly what these whales are doing differently, because if we can decode it, the implications for human medicine could be enormous. But whales and sharks are still vertebrates, still built somewhat like us. What if I told you the actual record for oldest animal on Earth doesn't belong to anything with a brain, a heart, or even a face? #5. The ocean Quahog Clam, the 500-year-old. Number 5 is the oldest known animal ever confirmed on Earth, the ocean Quahog Clam. In 2006, researchers found a specimen off the coast of Iceland. They named it Ming. When they finally calculated its exact age using growth rings on its shell, The number stunned the entire scientific community. 507 years old. Ming was alive during the actual Ming dynasty in China, which is exactly where the name comes from. This clam was already alive before Christopher Columbus sailed to the Americas. It survived the entire Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, both world wars, and the invention of the internet, sitting quietly on the ocean floor the entire time. And here's the darkly ironic part. Ming died the moment researchers opened its shell to count those growth rings. The very act of studying its age is what ended a 507-year life. Some researchers now believe other ocean quahogs alive today could be even older than Ming was. We just haven't found them yet. If a clam without a brain can live half a millennium, what does that mean for creatures that actually have complex bodies, organs, and decades of physical wear? The answer might surprise you, because the next animal on this list has been walking the same islands since before your great-great-great-grandparents were born. Hash 4. The Galapagos Tortoise. The 170-year-old. Entering our top 4. The Galapagos Tortoise. The oldest recorded individual lived to 176 years old. And unlike the deep-sea creatures on this list, this is an animal you could actually walk up to and touch. Their secret is an incredibly slow metabolism combined with something most animals don't have: extremely low cancer rates and remarkably robust DNA repair mechanisms. Every time their cells divide, the tortoise's body corrects errors more effectively than almost any other reptile on Earth. Their entire pace of life, slow movement, slow digestion, slow everything, appears to translate directly into a slow rate of aging. We're officially halfway through this list, and so far every single animal has been cold-blooded, slow-moving, or living in near-freezing water. That's about to change completely. The next entry defies aging while being warm-blooded, hyperactive, and living in one of the hottest, harshest environments on the planet: underground burrows in sub-Saharan Africa. Hash 3. The red sea urchin. The animal that won't age. Number 3 is a creature that doesn't just live a long time, it may not age at all. The red sea urchin. Researchers have found specimens confirmed to be over 200 years old. And here's the part that breaks the pattern of everything else on this list. They show absolutely no signs of aging. A 200-year-old red sea urchin reproduces just as well as a young one. Its health shows no measurable decline. It doesn't get weaker, slower, or more fragile with time the way every other living thing on this planet does, including you. It continuously regenerates tissue, repairs its own DNA, and maintains full cellular function for 2 full centuries, as if time simply isn't affecting it the same way. Scientists call this negligible senescence biological aging that's so slow it's almost undetectable. If a spiky creature on the ocean floor can pull this off, imagine what's possible for an animal that actually has a brain complex enough to problem solve, live in social colonies, and feel almost no pain at all. Hash 2. The naked mole rat, the aging defier. Number 2 is small, hairless, and honestly not much to look at. But the naked mole rat might be the single most important animal in aging research today. At 30 years old, they live roughly 10 times longer than any other rodent of similar size. A mouse lives 2 to 3 years. A naked mole rat, built almost identically, can live 3 decades. Here's the detail that makes cancer researchers lose their minds. Naked mole rats have never been observed developing cancer, not once, in decades of laboratory study. They show no decline in fertility, no increase in disease risk, and no drop in activity levels even in old age. Their cells simply don't replicate as often, and when they do, their DNA repair mechanisms catch and fix errors with terrifying efficiency. As if that's not strange enough, naked mole rats feel no pain from certain acids, And they can survive up to 18 minutes without oxygen, something that would cause irreversible brain damage in almost any other mammal, including us. This is exactly why pharmaceutical companies are pouring millions into studying them. If we can find the genetic switch that gives naked mole rats immunity to cancer and aging, it could change human medicine forever. But everything you've just heard, the sharks, the whales, the clams, the tortoises, the urchins, the mole rats, all of it is about to be made to look almost ordinary. Because our final animal doesn't just resist aging, it may have found a way to reverse it entirely and repeat that reversal forever. Has Hone. The Turritopsis jellyfish, the Immortal. Our number one is the only animal on Earth that scientists believe could theoretically live forever. The Turritopsis dornii, known as the Immortal jellyfish. Here's how it works, and it sounds like science fiction. When this jellyfish is injured, sick, starving, or simply old, it doesn't die the way every other animal on this list eventually does. Instead, it reverts back to its earliest life stage, the polyp stage, essentially transforming itself back into a biological baby version of itself. It's not metaphorical. This is genuine biological time travel, cell by cell. Then it grows up again, and if it's threatened or damaged again later, it can repeat the exact same process. Again and again. Theoretically, indefinitely. There is no known upper limit to how many times a Turritopsis jellyfish can do this, which means there is no known natural cause of death from old age for this species at all. Even now, researchers still don't fully understand the exact cellular mechanism that allows this transformation to happen. It's one of the last true mysteries in aging biology, a creature that looked evolution's biggest rule dead in the eye and simply opted out. For all practical purposes, the Turritopsis jellyfish is immortal. What this means for us. So, here's the question worth sitting with. Every animal on this list solved a problem that human medicine is still desperately trying to crack. Cancer resistance, cellular repair, metabolic slowdown, even biological reversal of aging itself. None of them needed a laboratory. They needed millions of years of evolutionary pressure, and they found their own answers. Scientists studying naked mole rats, bowhead whales, and immortal jellyfish aren't just satisfying curiosity. They're actively hunting for the genetic mechanisms behind these traits, hoping to translate them into treatments for human cancer and age-related disease. The line between nature documentary and medical breakthrough is thinner than you think. These 7 animals have cracked the code to extreme longevity in 7 completely different ways, some reaching 400 or 500 years, one potentially never dying at all. They don't have laboratories, supplements, or medicine. They have millions of years of evolution working in their favor. The question is, how much of that code can we eventually borrow? Which of these animals surprised you the most? Would you actually want to live 500 years? Or even become biologically immortal like the Turritopsis jellyfish? Drop your answer in the comments below. If this blew your mind, hit like and subscribe for more nature extremes. Until next time, remember, you age, but these animals just wait.